Chooch, back with another one. Today we're about to be heading up to Rocky Mountain National Park and riding the veteran Sherman. This wheel right here has been my go-to recently, dudes. I've been doing a lot of long haul rides where I really, using a lot of battery power, maintaining like a high sustained speed. But we're gonna be going on the highest continuous paved road in North America. And this is called Trail Ridge Road. It has a maximum altitude of 12,138 feet, dudes. It is up there. Once you're at the top of this road, it literally looks like you're looking out of like the window of an airplane. You're up there. There's very little oxygen. It's actually in the Rocky Mountain Tundra is where we're about to head to. So let's get the gear ready, get the wheel out, and let's head up and get into Rocky Mountain National Park and see if we can do this, dudes. The day is fading away, and I think once I get there, I'm gonna be pressed for time because I've got to go full send to be able to get to the top and back before this thing, or before the sun sets. So we're gonna do that. Got it sitting over here in these awesome new stands, dudes. If y'all wanna check out these red stands I got it sitting in, these are really cool, dudes. I'll link them below. They work perfect for these wheels. Seriously, they're 84 bucks, and man, awesome. I wanna get like 2 more of them just so I have one for pretty much all the wheels I regularly use and take out. This is the wheel I was riding the other day. Good old M Super Pro right there. Clark pedals, Clark pads. This is my EXN with Clark pedals, Clark pads on it. This is the V12 high speed right here. This is what I raced at Apple Valley last year and busted my ass. So this is with the free motion pedals on here, the OG free motion pedals. I got other pads in here, power pads. Look at this. This whole box is full of power pads under there, and then even more right here. But T4 is still out of commission, dudes. I would be taking the T4 out. Look at this thing. It's beautiful. This thing is so sick, dudes. It's so sick, and I haven't been able to use it. I've been waiting on parts for the T4 for a freaking month, guys. For a month. Even as an influencer, dude. A month. And still don't have them. But E-Wheels is super cool, dude. They said they're trying to get me parts for this thing, and they also said they're going to be hooking it up with a M10-4. So I was like, dude, I really want to do some cool stuff with the M10-4, and I think that I can really showcase that little wheel in an awesome way and I got some great ideas, dude, just being a clown on that thing. But the M10-4, I think is a sweet wheel, dudes. I don't think you should get the M10-4, like if you're just getting into the hobby, dudes. I think like Kingsong 16S, something like that, or like a V8 or something, you just get more bang for your buck if you're just getting into the hobby. The M10-4 is more of a play around wheel. It's really not for learning, for doing, long rides and stuff. It's more of a play around wheel. You can get way more bang for your buck in like a V8 or like a 16S or something like that, dude. It's like if you're just getting into the hobby, get a 16S, bro. Straight up. This right here, this wheel, I've let people learn on it. I've literally given it to people for a day. I was like, dude, here, just take it for a day and thrash it. I don't care how hard you ride it, what you do to it, and just ride it and learn. And there's probably been, I don't know, 15, 20 people that have learned on this thing. And then I've literally given it to a group of people in Boulder one day and just let them ride it and play on it and have fun, and came back and got it. It was a little bit torn up or messed up, but this is literally, these 2 wheels right here are for company, for play around. I gave this wheel to my buddy, and he just comes out here and thrashes on that thing and rides it through the snow and whatever the hell we do. But that's the good thing about having old wheels, guys. This is actually my first wheel right here, the Airwheel X3. I got this all the way back in like late 2014, dudes. Or actually like early 2015 I got this wheel. But man, I've been doing this for a long time. I love it though. This is the MSX right here, the OG MSX, dudes. 1230 watt hours, 100 volts, incredibly fast and lightweight wheel. They don't make that one anymore, but dudes, that thing doesn't go very far. But for just like even like trail riding, guys, I know I have a slick on here, but it's so lightweight you can still trail ride that thing with a slick on it, because you can literally just make it do what you want it to do. You can literally make it not slip in the corners because it's just so light. You can plan it, you can just hop it, you can do whatever you want to. But so that's the current fleet I got right now, guys. I literally have one suspension wheel, which I love, but it's just out of commission, and then V3S, 16S, Airwheel X3, M Super X, M Super Pro, V12 high speed, or V12 high torque, V12 high speed, the original EXN with the Shinko 244, and then the veteran Sherman. But I really like all the wheels, dudes. I straight up like them all. If I had one I could add to it right now, if I could add two to it, I would definitely go with the S22. I'd love to have a master, but like as you see in this position right here, the reason, like, I have the money to buy the new wheels that come out. Like, people are like, why don't you buy a master? Or why don't you buy an S22? It's like, well, I have the money, dudes, but I'm just like, I'm saving money to do other stuff. And like, I'm in a position to where I have wheels to ride. And like, it's one of those things, like, if I have wheels to ride on pretty much all the terrains and stuff, I'm not gonna go spend, you know, $3,000 to buy a master or S22. I really respectively think I'm in a position to where I sell a lot of those things for these companies. I know my worth, dude. I sell a lot of those units, dudes. For each video I make, like with the V12s, I must have sold 2,000 of the damn things for InMotion. Straight up. Like, seriously. And like that's facts, dude. So it's just one of those things where I would love to buy the wheels, and I have money to where I want to, like, I could definitely buy the new wheels. But I think the company should send them out free of charge and just let me ride them and do my thing with them. It's because why would I spend a whole bunch of money on new wheels when I have that many sitting right over there? It makes no sense. And it's just one of those things, like, you know, if they really want to promote it and they really want to push it, I think they should send them out to me. I don't think E-Wheels should. I don't think UCO, I don't think any of those companies should be the ones to send them out, because it's a conflict of interest. Say if UCO sends a wheel out and then I put the E-Wheels link in the top of the damn video, they're gonna be pissed off, and rightfully so. So I think the companies, Kingsong, InMotion, whatever the hell you are, get directly in contact with us, dudes. Contact the YouTubers. I mean, we don't know how to contact you, but if you can reach out and like go through one of the retailers or whatever and contact us and be like, yo, we're gonna air freight you this wheel, just make videos on it for us. You don't have to put E-Wheels, UCO, or Rev Rides, or whatever the hell it is. We're gonna send you a wheel and you just make videos for this wheel, for this company, or for, you know, for the InMotion, or for the B-Goat, or whatever it is, so there's not a conflict of interest. Because even so, like, I feel bad. I literally feel bad getting this wheel right here that E-Wheels sent out, and then putting any other links down there for you to buy a wheel from. It really, if you look at it from the perspective of the company that sent the wheel out, it really is a slap in the face, you know? So they just got to do better on this, dudes. We're out here, I mean, I dedicate tons of time to this. I really do. I dedicate a lot of time to this, a lot of energy to this, and I feel like it should just be simpler, dudes. Like, straight up, the companies like Kingsong, InMotion, B-Goat, we do enough for you as influencers, guys. There's like 5 influencers out there that are really, you know, making a difference in the amount of sales you get, and I think you should be in contact with us directly and send us machines directly. So we don't have to take valuable time from these other people that are literally trying to sort out problems with wheels. They're trying to fulfill orders. They're trying to fix wheels, all this stuff, and they don't want to deal with an influencer that they have to send a free wheel to. So I think the companies should take the incentive. The companies that we are selling thousands of wheels for should literally realize, hey, our #1 marketing team out there, which is the influencers, we should hook them up and send them wheels out and not make them have to buy the damn things, or, you know, go through one of the companies and start a whole damn controversy on the internet about who's advertising for who. So seriously, dudes, I know that's a rant, but come on. I mean, it's chicken feed for you companies. Y'all are making a fortune off these damn things. Hook us up. Send us out the new wheels. I literally should have a master. If I had a master and a Kingsong S22 over here, it would do nothing but make your sales higher. Straight up. It would, for me, it means nothing. I mean, I would like to have a new wheel, of course, but I have plenty of shit to ride. I got plenty of unicycles to ride over there. It's not like I'm fiending to have a free unicycle. I got plenty of shit to ride. If you want to send one out for me to advertise, send it out and I'll advertise it for you. But it's not one of those things where I'm going to be, taking my hard-earned money, my $3,000 to go spend it on a wheel to only just advertise it for you. It makes no sense to do that. But that's the way it is. And I hate it's turned into that, dude. It's like the companies, it's your fault. B-Goat, InMotion, King Song, it's all your fault, dudes. Y'all have made a conflict of interest and completely screwed up the whole way you advertise these things. Straight up. Anyways, rant over. I'm about to go ride. Let's go do it. What's up, dudes? So some people ask about my Sherman, my veteran Sherman, like what all the stuff is I have on it and whatnot. So these are just some spike, like foot plates that go on the top of the old veteran Sherman pedals. These pedals aren't bad. These are just foot plates that go on, like plates that go on top of them, and so they aren't very expensive. I'm actually not sure where you get these anymore. I think E-Wheels might have them. These are the side pad governors on here, and I just put mouse pad material on them to make them a little bit more comfortable. Link in the description or in my link tree to be able to pick up these and get a discount on them. I like these side pads a lot. These are just for the handlebars on a dirt bike, and I just cut it into thirds to kind of put on here to look cool and offer a little bit of protection on that rail. And then the back here, this is a mud guard for a CRF 50 dirt bike, and I just cut it and used some flex tape and mounted it with like a little block of wood under there and like screwed it in, and it flaps. So I just suspended it with that rope kind of thing on the back, and then this is just a little Max Edition bag, and I could put little knickknacks or whatever I need in there. Yeah, and then this up here is a foot plate. So this is the old top to the foot plate, and this used to just have grip tape on it, but I just used this and bent it, heated it up with a torch and bent it, and then put Velcro in here, and it used to be a lot cleaner looking and better, but this is just protection for the screen in case I crash. So this will offer a little bit of protection, and it'll hit this and not the screen when I go down. But yeah, that's all that is on there. All right, guys, I'm putting y'all in the backpack, and then I'll see y'all on the other camera when we're on the road. What's up, dudes? Chooch back with another one. Out here riding, about to go on the highest paved road in North America, and I'm riding the veteran Sherman right here, and we're going up on Trail Ridge Road, and this is the highest continuous paved road in North America right here, and with a maximum elevation of 12,183 feet. So that's about 3,713 meters high, and we're about to head up there right now, guys. It closes in about 8 days, and from when I filmed this, it closes in about 8 days, and it's because we're going up so high in elevation that it gets so much snow up here that they have to close it completely down, because even the best snow plows cannot keep it cleared off. You'll actually notice at the very top up here, on each side of the road, there's massive like holes that they put into place, and those are for whenever springtime comes around. Basically, they have these huge snow plows that go up here on this road at the very top, and they have to use those as guide poles because the snow is like 12 to 13 feet deep in some places up here, even more than that where we're going. So we're going up at extreme elevation gain on the veteran Sherman, guys. I actually filmed for about an hour and 20 minutes, and I just literally started with a full battery, basically from when I turned on this video right here, and just took off and climbing from, we're at about, let's see, we're probably at about 8,000 feet right here, so we're only climbing about 4,000 feet, but I was going really fast the whole time. And this is 3,200 watt hours in this wheel, and by the time I got to the very top up here, guys, it was already beeping on me, going over, like, by beeping I mean like the battery was getting low, and like lower than 40% charge. And that's just because I was on it, like going fast the whole time I was climbing this mountain. And it really does drain, like even on the best wheels with the longest range, this is where you really need like the crazy range that you see in some of the new wheels coming out. um, I would even like to see more in some wheels. Honestly, I'd like to see some wheels push that like 4,500 watt hour or 5,000 watt hour, just for crazy stuff like this. Because even with this being 3,200 watt hours, guys, there's no way. Like, this road is 48 miles across the whole thing. That's a cool little Lotus Elise back there. I like that car. But this whole road from start to finish, if you go from the east side of the Continental Divide, which is where I'm at right now, and ride all the way over from, I'm in Estes Park basically right now, and at the start of Rocky Mountain National Park. And if I ride from right here, I'm going to be going across the Continental Divide all the way into Grand Lake, Colorado. So this is literally going, how if you're going down I-70 through Colorado, you go under the Eisenhower and Johnson tunnels to get through the Continental Divide. Well, this is going over the Continental Divide, so you have a crazy elevation. This is literally the highest paved road in North America right here that we're going on. And I would like to have a wheel with like 5,000 watt hours. It would be crazy, it would be heavy, but and it would be expensive, but I'd like to have one coming out just because you can do crazy rides like this where you're just going full speed, kind of using it like a motorcycle, And they could pack it in there for sure and just put. And I really wanted suspension in some places with the ride. And once I got to the top, I was riding across the Rocky Mountain Tundra, and they just have some pavement kind of splashed down on top of the Tundra up there. And it's really bumpy because they didn't bother to mess with any of the rocks under it or anything like that. It's just a walking path. And I tried to ride on it, and it was just so bumpy. It was kind of unbearable. But I didn't need suspension for most of this ride, but I would definitely like to have, like the Sherman S for this ride. I think that that wheel would be perfect for this ride. A little bit more watt hours and suspension, dude, and you could do a ride like this, no problem. But we're about to go high up into the Rocky Mountains right now on this thing. And this is really nice because, there is other traffic on the road, but they're going to be, sightseeing and looking around at everything and not really going fast. So this is a really good road to ride safely on and just see some beautiful views and just enjoy the open road on this thing. This is great. This was a really fun ride. I enjoyed it. So the top speed on this wheel that I'm riding right here, you can go about 54 miles an hour on it, like for a rider my weight, if it's fully charged up. But for most of this ride, I was keeping it probably right above 40. I'd say probably 41, 42 miles an hour right here is what I'm riding at. Just because I'm going fast and I am using a lot of battery because I am going a little bit faster than you normally would ride, like a mountain pass like this, like on a group ride or something. But it really, I don't know, it really didn't affect it too much. Going fast like this, going up here is kind of the purpose of it. I wasn't really planning on going any farther than going to the top and then turning around and coming back. But if I was trying to go farther on it and trying to conserve battery, I could have definitely gotten more out of it, you know what I mean? But just going fast like this for a sustained period of time on a wheel like this, you're going to use a lot of battery. But if you're on flat ground with this same wheel, I've gotten 78 miles out of this one day riding trails and flat ground and just kind of adventure riding it, but not really going into the mountains much. Literally 78 miles on it. But right here, on this ride, I probably couldn't have gotten more than literally on this Sherman, probably more than 47, 48 miles, as I went up and came all the way back. By the time I got back, I had 2 or 3 bars left, which three bars isn't bad on this, but I hate being speed throttled. So I if you're going to be doing rides like this where you're just going fast, sustained riding, man, you got to get a wheel that has way more watt hours in it, which is just going to be more expensive. But you need it if you're doing rides like this. The V12, you just simply wouldn't be able to do a ride like this. So that's why you'd want to get something like the Sherman Max or the Sherman S or Monster Pro, anything like that. Because even the Master wouldn't be able to do this whole ride right here at this sustained speed. It would just drain the battery too quick. So you got to keep that in mind. But like the Sherman S like has its place still, I think, you know. And then the Sherman Max, I think those are just two really good wheels to get if you're a rider that prefers stuff like this. Which there's not a lot of riders. Like, think about it, in a city, dude. There's nowhere you can really go full send like this in a city without hitting red lights and stopping and going and all that. This is just, you know, sustained riding for more than 20 miles at one time, at one go, is not something you commonly do for most riders, you know. So, but I think there's a place for it, and I think there definitely needs to be more wheels out there made for this type of stuff. So I want to see more of that in the future. If y'all are wondering what this light is on the back of my helmet, this is actually really cool. And in my demo video, I didn't have it fully charged up. Man, when you fully charge this thing up, it is bright, guys. This thing is awesome. But basically, the way it works is you just put it on the back of any helmet. It has like a really cool little mounting system that just clicks into place. You can take it on and off, and it charges with a micro USB cable. And when you hit the brakes, like you see right here, like whenever I slow down or whenever I slow down or carve or anything on the wheel, it senses that and it puts it on like I was hitting brake lights basically. And it also works whenever I turn my helmet around like that. But it's awesome, guys, especially if you're in the city riding around. Whenever you go to hit brakes, like on the Unicycle, that thing lights up just like you're hitting the brakes on a motorcycle. And it's called the Brake Free Tech. So I love that thing. It has no wires or anything that go into the Unicycle. It's all independently, like the way it works. And like if you're riding in a city, you notice it working way better than me being a fool right here and engaging it whenever I carve. But it's awesome the way it works out. And it's definitely a good peace of mind, especially whenever night falls and you know you got that on the back of your helmet. It's nice to have it for sure. But code ChoochTech, and I'll link it below. And if I'm wrong with the code or whatever, I'll have it linked below, because I do have a discount code, which there's not a lot of people that have them, for you to save some money if you go to buy one of these things. But it's really cool. I do like it a lot. I've used it for about a month now, and there's been several times where I've been out and pitch black charge, and I know I have it on the back of my helmet, and I'm definitely glad that I have it. So this road right here, you can tell we're starting to go up towards the steeper parts of it. And if you look at like a map of the actual elevation gain on this road, it's pretty incredible. It really is wild. From where we started to where we're going, we started at about 8,500-ish feet, and we're going up. The highest point, guys, like I said, is over 12,100 feet up here. And it's all the way into the Rocky Mountain Tundra. And it's so high up that there's no trees growing or anything up there, and it literally is like tundra land up there. It's wild, and in about 10 days it's going to be covered in snow up there, and it will remain covered in snow from the end of October until late next May, or on into July sometimes. So basically only from like late July, you have like August and September where it's completely snow-free up here. And then the winter lasts a long time up at 12,000 feet in the Rocky Mountains. But it's beautiful up here, it really is. And if you look at a map, it's quite incredible how much of a blockade the Rocky Mountains are, especially for people that live like over in Grand Lake and, in near like Winter Park. Like if you've ever gone to Winter Park before, it's kind of out of the way, and you got to go around like Berthoud Pass to get there. And it's because like the Rocky Mountains, there's really no good way to get through them come winter time. You have Interstate 70, which is your main passage point, but if you want to go anywhere that's in the North Rockies or in the in the southern part, there's no really good way to get there. You have to go up I-70 first and then kind of fork over through your various routes. There's one tunnel for the trains called the Moffat Tunnel, and that's really cool. I've shown that on the channel before. That's a massive engineering feat that not a lot of people really know about in the United States. The Moffat Tunnel is a 6-mile tunnel that's blasted through the whole entire Continental Divide. So it would go under this entire mountain range, and that's what Union Pacific Railroad owned that. That's a main freight thoroughfare to get freight from the West Coast to the East Coast, really. And the California Zephyr, which is an Amtrak passenger train, they use it as well. But the freight companies, Union Pacific definitely has say over when they get to use it and how they get to use it, because they own the whole railroad. I think Amtrak just leases it from Union Pacific, because Amtrak, if you know about it, Amtrak is a non-profitable, it's one of the only non-profitable passenger train companies in the entire world. And they've never turned a profit if you look into it, which is pretty wild. So it's just kind of a thing they run at this point, just to say that America has a passenger train. But it literally doesn't turn a profit if you look into it, which is a fun fact. But anyways, that Moffat Tunnel goes all the way under this whole thing, and there's no, like, what would make sense is if they had, like, I wish they had a bicycle tunnel, like, adjacent to the Moffat Tunnel, where you could ride, a bicycle through, or unicycle or whatever through there, and I could literally get from, you could get from, say, Boulder County over to Winter Park in maybe like an hour on an electric unicycle, which is across the Continental Divide if you could go under it. If you got to go over the Continental Divide, you can take Rollins Pass, which is another way. That's like a 4x4 trail now, which is really cool. I want to do that one day. I've never done it before. But you can take dirt bikes up it and everything. And that used to be the old railroad pass, but they've converted it now to where it's just a trail you can take. And you can Jeep it, you can ride dirt bikes on it, unicycle it, whatever it may be. But I think that'd be really cool to do one day. So as soon as you start getting snowfall up here, they have these big gates. You'll see these gates we go through every now and then, and they'll close those gates off. And once those gates are closed for the wintertime, you can no longer take this road. And even if you can take this road, you have to have like a Rocky Mountain National Parks pass to do it. Or either, I wonder if you live, I bet if you live in Grand Lake over here or something, I bet there's some type of pass you get or either buy to be able to use this road. But once this shuts down, you have to go all the way down the Front Range, all the way over to I-70. So you'd have to go way out of the way. If you were coming from like Fort Collins area, you'd have to go all the way down to I-70, basically, and then go up, and then up Berthoud Pass and around into Winter Park and whatnot, which is usually the way people take to go skiing and what have you. But this is a shortcut to get there. So literally, Grand Lake is only a few miles away from where I'm at. At about 15 more miles from where I am right here, you're in the town of Grand Lake, which is it's beautiful up there. That's one of the biggest natural lakes in Colorado, I'm pretty sure. It might be the one next to it, adjacent to it or whatever, but it's beautiful. It really is beautiful. That's really close to where the guy with the if you've seen the documentary on Netflix, the guy that made the Killdozer, where the guy that worked on the bulldozer and welded the side panels on it and everything, and worked on it in his shop, because the fella bought the muffler shop like right in front of him, or the land right in front of his muffler and oil shop, and basically made it to where nobody could get in there anymore. So he closed his business down, and he got pissed off, bought like a big, massive Caterpillar bulldozer, welded like big steel plates on the side of it, and he got out one day and rampaged through the whole town up there. And that's the town of Granby. So Granby is right on the other side of of the Continental Divide up here, and I'm only probably about 23 miles away from Granby right now, if I just kept going straight. So pretty cool, and a way different. So the Front Range is a lot more densely populated, and as soon as you go over here into Grand Lake and whatnot, it's a lot of people with like log cabins and snowmobiles and shit like that. So, but it's pretty cool. So where we're getting to right now is the really steep part of this whole pass, and this road right here used to be used, not this road specifically, but this route in general, probably damn near close to this specific route we're on right now, was used by the Native Americans, and they would use this to get from where they lived over in the west to be able to get over here to their hunting grounds in the east. Because in the east, where I just came from, once you go out a little bit farther, it's all plains down there. Once you get down from Estes Park, so that was their hunting grounds over there, and they would make the long trek in some cases when food was scarce to get back over here. And when they had to walk up this pass, it was called, their way of explaining it was called Tinba, which is basically it's translated to where the children walked. And it's because they had to let the children down to be able to walk up. They couldn't carry their children. The moms couldn't carry their children up this part of the mountain because it was so steep. And so they referred to this part of the pass right here as Tinba, and that is where the children walked. And so the children had to walk up at any age up this part right here because it was so steep at the time. They couldn't be carried. And right here, that sign basically said, warning, there's fast changing weather up here. And it's true. There's right near where I am, Long's Peak is right behind me. It's a 14,000 foot tall mountain, which is in Rocky Mountain National Park. And it is what you see, basically the highest peak you see around here everywhere. And it's been used for, thousands of years as a navigational tool in North America. And it's because that peak is seen from very, very far away. It is the highest point. It's not like you have a building or anything out here. It's all mountain peaks that you use. Even driving in Colorado, where I've lived, I always have used the mountain range to the west. If anybody that lives in your mountains, you always use the mountains as kind of a reference point if you're somewhere where you don't know where you're at, because you can always get back using the mountains. If you can see the mountains, you can get back easy, just like a tall building in a city. But Long's Peak has always been used, even by the Native Americans, as like a guide and like reference point. But as we go up right here, so we started down at Fall River. Fall River comes gushing down, and that is the river that goes through Estes Park. That is the low point. We came up to Deer Ridge Junction. That's whenever I took that right up there. Whenever I could have gone left or right, that was called Deer Ridge Junction. That was at about 9,000 feet. And then we're up at Mini Parks Curve. We're going around Mini Parks Curve right now. Coming up here very soon, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is coming up right here on Mini Parks Curve. Once we go around Mini Parks Curve, we're going to be climbing all the way up to, no, this is Rainbow Curve right here. So we passed Mini Parks Curve. Now this is what is called Rainbow Curve. That's just the curve in the road, and it's beautiful right here. And we're looking down on just a beautiful valley right here. I said whenever I first saw this, I was like, this looks like the Hidden Valley from the Hidden Valley Ranch bottle. And it really does. It's beautiful. So this is Rainbow Curve, and this is we're almost at 11,000 feet already, guys. So that's how fast we've climbed up this road. I've just been on it, just cruising up. And you see that gate back there? That gate right there is for closing whenever it gets too snowy up here. So they kind of close the road incrementally, so they don't completely close it off to all visitors. But as they need to, and as the snow stacks up and it becomes unplowable, they have to close the road off. So in a few months, this road will just be unpassable. And I want you to notice something. Look on the side of the road at the big, tall trees, like our stakes in the ground you'll see. And you'll see them as we keep going up. Those are for the big, massive, these aren't normal snowplows, guys. They use massive Caterpillar, like the flatteners for like concrete projects. They have those things converted to snowplows. And they use those, they're huge, to plow these roads, and there's so much snow on them, they have to use those poles that are sticking up as guideposts, so that the operator of that snowplow doesn't accidentally drive off the side of the mountain. He uses those poles as a guidepost to go through, and he knows that's where the road is. Without those poles, everything would just be covered in snow, and he wouldn't know if he's on the road or off the side of the road. And once one of those big caterpillars starts falling, especially like in a place right here, if he were to go over the side and not have those guide poles with a bunch of snow everywhere, it would be catastrophic. So that's why those big poles are in there, and they're just trees with the limbs stripped off of them that they put there, which is pretty cool. I didn't know that the first time I went up here, and I'm like, why the hell they got these like dead trees like put in the side of the road? But it makes total sense, and you can see pictures of it in the springtime of the plows blowing. I mean, like it's like 13. The wall of snow is twice as tall as I am coming through here, and they're just the plows are sitting there just blowing it over the side to clear this road off for the to open it up for the tourists to come to. But pretty incredible. You can even see, I think up there in the bushes, you can even see a little bit of snow in some places that's still there. They're so high up. Now we're getting right above the tree line now. As we go a little bit higher right here, we're going to be going up to, so we're going to be hitting Forest Canyon Overlook. And Forest Canyon Overlook is at about 11,700-ish feet. And it's really, really cool, guys. You're at the total top of the Rocky Mountains in the Rocky Mountains once you're at Forest Canyon Overlook. And that's where we're about to make it to right now. So about to pass the tree line right here and be nearing that 12,000 foot mark as we come up to this next mountaintop right here. So if you've never been to Rocky Mountain National Park, I highly suggest it. Rocky Mountain National Park is really cool. And I love Yellowstone as well. Yellowstone's awesome. But definitely, guys, get out there and check out your national parks. Even, like, I bet some of you don't even know, like, there's a national park down in the southeast called Congaree National Park. I've been to that one as well. And, dude, you would never expect it, but it was all down there through, like, the wetlands of the low country. And there was all these, I didn't have my wheel at the time, but imagine taking the wheel down there and, like, just cruising on a day where it wasn't packed through all like the big decks of the wetlands and stuff down there. It was a perfect place to go down there and cruise. But check out your national parks for sure, guys, because there are definitely gems. But the reason they're able to maintain this road at this high altitude is because it's just a fee to get in here. It's like $30 a vehicle to get in here. But if you're see, a lot of people just only come to a national park like as a one-day thing, but like if you get your national parks pass, like your annual pass, you're definitely you're spending some money for it. But the National Park Service, like they're good people, man. They put all that money back into helping wildlife and maintaining roads like this, and it's a lot of money. They're definitely a profitable agency, I'll tell you that. But they do put a lot of their money back into infrastructure and whatnot, like visitor centers and the roadways and stuff like that. And they're cool people overall. Like the rangers and everything that I've run into have been really cool people that really, really support the wheel. If you're bringing a unicycle into one of these places, though, just be respectful of it, be cool, and the rangers are most of the time really cool people. So right now, we're nearing the Forest Canyon Overlook. Like I said, this is coming right up on it up here. As soon as we get to the top of this mountain, this little pull-off that you go over. This is actually one of the first places I came to whenever I moved to Colorado. I just took a really quick trip up here. And you can drive through here, guys. You can literally just come up here and pay the toll or whatever and take your car. And one thing you can do is just drive through here and bring your wheel with you, and you can. That's honestly probably a little bit smarter, because if you have a breakdown or anything up here, somebody will help you out or whatnot. You got cool people all around, but just put your wheel in your car and just come up here and then find cool places where you want to ride, or maybe take some pictures or explore a little bit more, and then ride your wheel over there, and you can have your car with you, which would be cool. But this right here is, we're looking at Forest Canyon, like I said, and this is absolutely beautiful, guys. We're up at about 12,000 feet of elevation, right near it. So this is 11,000 like 800 ish, right here exactly. And man, this is the top of the Rocky Mountains right here, guys, way up here. And this is the Rocky Mountain Tundra. So you see there's no trees up here, and it's because there's so little oxygen that there's no trees growing. That sign actually said Tundra, keep off. But yeah, this is where we're at, the Rocky Mountain Tundra right here. And if you look at the map of the USA, this is actually quite noticeable. If you look at all the peaks above 12,000 feet, you'll notice that they're all bald like this, or they all look brown as opposed to having trees on them. And it's just because that little narrow area of mountains in the USA where it's above 12,000 feet are all just completely barren like this. Anyways, dudes, I just wanted to do, a little bit different video, longer format, and just cruising, exploring on this Sherman right here. A little bit longer range ride, and just showing what else you can do with it as opposed to just trail riding or riding around the city and stuff. You can really adventure ride with these things, and especially with the new V13 coming out and then the Sherman S. I think those are going to be two incredible wheels that it just opens up more windows to doing really cool rides just like this one, more long range stuff. You got a lot of watt hours in there, and you can go forever on those things. And it takes a lot to drain them, so I mean, you just might be able to just go forever on them and just do really, really cool rides you would never expect to do. So think outside the box with where you want to ride and cool places to go. I definitely want to bring some more footage on both those wheels, but I've answered it a few times for different people, like which one I would get, the V13 Challenger or like the Sherman S that is going to be coming out soon. And I honestly, if I had to put my money down on one of the two, I'd probably go with the Sherman S. It really looks like more refined, guys. And all the pictures I'm seeing of the completed product, like the Sherman S is pretty much ready to ship out now. Some people are already getting them, and it just looks so good, dude. Like the Sherman S looks beautiful. The build quality looks great on it. It looks like they really spent their time on it and got that thing right. The Sherman Max and then the OG Sherman have all been incredible wheels coming from the company Leprechaun. And I'm so glad to see the Sherman S that actually looks like a well-built wheel. It looks like it's perfectly balanced. By balance, I mean the only problem with the Veteran Abrams that a lot of people don't talk about, guys, the main problem with that wheel is the balance of the thing was just off. Like the wheel wasn't bad, the build quality wasn't bad on it at all. It just basically, if you look at the Sherman or the Veteran Abrams, guys, it was built. It looks like it was built upside down. And if hear me out for a second. So it kind of tapered down in the opposite direction that would make sense for a vehicle. So if you look at like a sports car or anything like that, like the smallest point of the car is at the top, and like that's like the peak of it is the top of the car, and then it slowly gradually gets wider, like as a wide body car would be, and that's how the kind of center of gravity works in an automobile, a car, anything like that. Go look at the Veteran Abrams, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's upside down, dudes. And I said that the first day I got on that thing, and I rode Jimmy Chang's demo that he had, the Veteran Abrams, and I immediately got on it and got speed wobbles. And the wheel, the build of it's great. It's a beautiful looking wheel. The headlight's great on it. Big tire on that thing to go over everything. But just the balance point of it was off. And I'm being dead serious about that. And that's one thing that nobody's talked about as being the problem with the Abrams. And that is literally what's wrong with it. It's just the batteries on the inside of it are just put in the wrong place. They're put too high in it. And it's like broader at the top of it. And then it tapers down in a triangle basically towards the bottom. And so you have all this weight at the top of that thing. And then it does not ride right. But the original Sherman I'm on right here is perfectly balanced. All that weight is balanced in it, and it's at a low center of gravity in this thing, and it just rides smooth. It rides good. Even, look at this right here. This is where I really wanted suspension, for example. So all that road riding and everything was fine until I got right here. And like this honestly was hard on the back just because I was trying to ride it fast. It's a heavy machine, and like the Sherman S would just be perfect right here in this situation. I'd be able to ride the Sherman S full speed through here without having to really work my knees and my legs and whatnot. And this path is just built on top of the Tundra up here, so that's why it's all bumpy. But I definitely I want to try the Sherman S soon. If I can get that wheel and demo it and show you guys what it's all about, I think it'll be awesome. But this is definitely exactly the type of terrain that thing would be perfect for. Adventure riding type stuff, long range adventure riding stuff. And I think it is, like, if you had to get one wheel, like, or upgrade and just get one wheel that was, you know, because you're going to be spending a lot for it. The Sherman S is not a cheap wheel. You know, that's an expensive thing. I mean, you could get a motorcycle for that price. But, you know, I'd prefer an electric unicycle, honestly, so for most things. And the Sherman S is just going to be one of those big ticket things you just get. You bite the bullet for it. And it's, I think it'll be a great wheel. I really do. But if you guys want to pick up any wheel, whether it be the Sherman S, whether it be an InMotion V12, or MCM5, whatever you want to get, guys, just use the links below. And it helps me out no matter what. And I can just keep bringing y'all, you know, completely transparent videos about the products and tell you exactly what's up with it. So, I mean, that's what I really want to do. I want to show you exactly what's up with all the wheels and everything. And that's why I'm riding my original Sherman right now, is because the T4 is still down and still waiting on parts from Big O. So, you know, I'm completely real with you when it comes to what's up with these things. So it's a hard choice, guys. I know it is, and I wouldn't even know, like, seriously, I don't even think about it as much as I should about, like, what wheel would you get if you're just trying to pick your first wheel or trying to get your second wheel right now, guys. And it's really hard to say. The market is just weird right now. It really is weird. You got these high-end wheels that are $4,000, then you got like the Master basically, and then you got, you know, like the tried and true RS19s and the V12s and whatnot. And basically, if I was just getting into the hobby and wanted to get something that would last a long time and really be like a perfect wheel for, you know, like a year or two to learn on and do a lot of stuff with, and it's not going to mess up on you, I would really go for like the V12 high torque. Now, if have already been into the hobby for a while and you're looking for your next like off-road wheel that's, you know, tried and true, the Master, guys, really hasn't had too many problems. I really would shoot for the Master and get that. I would love to have a Big-O Master. I think there hasn't been any really reported problems with that thing other than people crashing it and like cosmetic issues, like really. So I think the Big-O Master, like the RS19 high torque, the V12 high torque, and the V12 high speed, the Sherman Max, like all really good wheels right now, guys. And then like if you wanted to go in and get, you know, like a InMotion V8 or a V5 like to learn on, you can always do that. And those are great wheels just to see if you want to even get into the hobby, and if you want to spend money on getting a high performance wheel, that's a great place to start. But any wheel you want to get, guys, if you use the links below, whether it be through eWheels, Rev Rides, whatever you choose, eRides, whatever you choose, use the links below and it helps me out. eRides is actually shipping globally now, so if you see something on eRides you want to get as well, I got a discount code for eRides below. But anyways, I got all the way up here to the top of basically the highest point, and then turned it on around and then ripped it all the way back down full send. I didn't go all the way across into Grand Lake because, frankly, as fast as I was going, and even with a wheel that has 3,200 watt hours on it, I don't think I could have gone the full 48 miles across the entire road up here. So maybe if I get like the V13 or, you know, Sherman S or something that has a little bit more range than this, I'll be able to complete the entire road all the way across. But even so, I'd have to find somewhere to charge once I got to the other side. But anyways, dudes, it's been Chooch. I'll see you in the next one. I appreciate y'all watching.